All right, sugar tits, you just sit there and be pretty. The man is talking. Fellas, what have I told y'all about these labels? Conservative, liberal, progressive, all that other fun shit. What have I told y'all about women? What have I told y'all about women who call themselves conservative in the modern day? Well, if she were truly, as she claimed to be, she would not want to be on the internet and grifting and seeking attention and the like. Because if she's truly conservative, she's conserving all that attention, all that, energy for husband and children. Because when a woman is conservative, when a woman is truly conservative, you will never know who she is. Her contentment will be in the attention of her husband and family. That's where her energy is. That's where her energy lies. And there are millions upon millions of women like that in the world. Never let the internet convince you otherwise. But here we have Ashley St. Clair, a quote-unquote conservative woman who, she got into a little bit of a mix-up, and now she wants to have a discussion. So guys, what we're going to do is we are going to partake in this discussion with Miss St. Clair. Fellas, let's get it.
This video is not going to go over well with a lot of my audience, but I feel like I need to say it for record's sake. A lot of the rhetoric happening on the right, women are fed up with. On this manosphere right-wing side of things, women are relatively repulsed by this. And these are women who most of you would die to have pregnant and barefoot in your kitchen.
Okay, first and foremost, do you hear that voice? The yenta is strong with this one. It's an inflection at the end of her voice. It's just, oy vey. Also, shout out to JF Greppi. He's where I pulled this from. Whatever's going on with him is none of my business. We're not here for JF, but acknowledgement where acknowledgement is due. So, on the right, the manosphere is, it's toxic to women and everything else like that. When, in reality, she, for the past few years, has been on the internet grifting off of those men on the right, while simultaneously holding a certain level of contempt for the white ones, and that is, it's been rather noted, as well as her presence on the internet before, doing the internet, as they like to say, is forever. So when there are tons of tweets and information, your fingerprint comes back where you're sitting there talking about how you need the BBC, and and trust me, I appreciate it. As a BBC myself, I do appreciate the sentiment. I do see where that can turn off other other men, men of other races, as well as black men themselves, because guess what? At that point, we're nothing more than a fetish to you, not true individuals or anything. We're nothing more than sexual objects in the context in which she uses it. So, but now that, time's gone on, and you'll hear in a moment what the real zinger here is, thusly, it's when it comes back to bite her, now we need to talk, oh my goodness, you guys are so toxic, you guys suck.
And they want nothing to do with you. Because for whatever reason, this discourse has been relatively one-sided about women and women's body counts and women's behavior without any regard for the individuals on the other side of those interactions.
Okay, so, fellas, do we ever claim to speak for all men? I don't think any of us would ever dare to. Yet, here she is speaking for all women. And, it's just, this feels a little bit more personal than you may want to let on, I can't help but feel like she was listening to some Whitney Houston, I'm every woman. And then she hopped on this high horse and started talking about how the discourse about, body counts, as we've discussed on this channel, do matter, particularly when it comes to women. And how, hey, if if Mike here is packing, saying 7 inches, but that BBC was like 19, like, yo, you got 19 inches of venom up in you. Like, sweetheart, yeah, it ain't gonna hit the same. And it's kind of like just like a waste. But at the time it was feeling good. You was doing it, and now as it turns out, you trying to whatever it is that you're trying to get into, you're clearly seeing it reflected that past reflected back upon you, and it don't feel good now. Do it.
And I'm the mother of a young boy.
Oh no.
And I vehemently disagree with the rhetoric that all men are evil and, the feminist rhetoric, particularly in 2016, 2017. But there should be a discussion, an honest discussion about both sides of the sexual revolution and what's happened. And it's just not happening. For whatever reason, it is right.
What are you talking about? It's happening right here. Happening right now. Sweetheart, yeah, you made choices. And the choices you made put you in this position where, no, you can't go back on it. Like, it fucking sucks, I know, but like, yo, once you make that call, like, oh, I have a child. So more than likely, I can't speak to her personal life, but more than likely a single mother here sitting here lamenting her life choices and not wanting to be shamed for those choices, truly feeling the heat of, oh yeah, you wanted them too though. Like, you want to sit here and preach conservatism and all this other fun stuff, but you're no better than any of the females that you think that you're better than. And it's a reality check, and it fucking sucks, but nut up, sweetheart, because that's exactly what you did. You took them loads, and you got the receipts for it. I mean, it'd be one thing if you wasn't a single mother, right? Because, hey, we could just kind of pretend, like, nah, proof's in the pudding. So, thusly... And speaking of pudding, I mean, somebody dumped a whole bunch in you, and now, you're out here, and you have to basically live with these choices. But what you're trying to do here is project onto all women that they're just not gonna like it. And sweetheart, let me tell you something about women. The fellas, I ain't talking to you, sugar tits. I mean, because honestly, even through this disgusting ass sweater, you can see she got some tig old bitties. But fellas, real talk, it's a matter of divide and conquer. If you have a conversation with one woman, right? Got a mood, got chemistry going, it's going to be something completely different than having a conversation with 2 women, 3 women. As soon as there's an audience involved, hey, things get weird. But on the one-on-one, and you could pull it to the side, you get it a one-on-one, and y'all lock in and become a strong family unit, something that unfortunately, due to the fact that she has, receipts, aka a kid, she can't do, then yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be all right, and honestly, hopefully, as these things become more and more, as we fall into this place where we truly do need each other more and more, that really sinks in for the younger generation of women.
Right-wing porn to demean women. And there's going to be people who hate this, but I'm telling you how it is before you get slapped in the face in 5 years and wonder why none of these women want to settle down, because so many of them are repulsed by what's...
Womp womp, sweetheart. Okay. We don't have we operate on different timelines. It's what we discuss on this channel rather often, the life trajectory of men and women. We as men, we gain our value as we gain economic sense and and income and assets and shit. As we gain literal monetary value, we gain value. Your value is from your youth. Hey, 18, the grass on the infield, play ball, and from there the value decreases, and it's like an X, and so thusly you're like, oh, in 5 years, guess what? There will be another 20, 23, 24, 25-year-old with eggs ready to go, whereas sweetheart, you'll be on the dark side of 30.
What's happening. They are repulsed by the rhetoric happening. They are repulsed that there's so much emphasis on the behavior of women, while men can name more people on their fantasy leagues than they can name members of the school boards in which their children go to school.
Yeah, because it's a mother's job. Oh, Jay, you're so sexist. Who cares? And you know what? If 5 years from now, right? When so let's say like 15. So like right now, like they're 15 and they're seeing what women such as yourself and the lady who wrote Sex in the City and all these broads, they're seeing what's become of you, and it wants no part. So, like hopefully, hey, they on board and they get their shit together, and we can culturally and collectively, in some sense, at a completely individual level, really like you and your clan, move and operate in, in a way in which furthers your goal. You know what I'm saying? And that is whatever it is God has bestowed upon you to do. So, guys, with that being said, we gonna wrap this one on up. It's hilarious to watch women who've made their life choices now lament those life choices and project their, regret and ultimate, shame onto other women, and say how, women who they don't know and never met will perceive the men that they don't know and have never met. Guys, 2023. Yeah.